Hey guys, got our video for this one. For you, this one will be about looking back at last year's free agency signings. Just looking at the good signings for the bad signings, sort of just in between. Let's get started. First off, we got one of the biggest signings last season. Didn't work out very well. We got Kirk Cousins signed the Falcons on a 4-year, $180 million deal. So he had some alright games, but eventually, for when you're getting paid $45 million a year and you get benched, that's not a great sign. It's not a great signing. We'll see what the Falcons end up doing. It's not a good sign. Then next up, we got Baker Mayfield. He helped lead the Bucks to the playoffs. Helped they lost, but still it could have held them play for him. It's a great deal. A good year for the Bucks. So yeah, this is a great signing. I don't know why there's. I did top. I guess they're just showing all free agency and things anywhere. Not talking about Ryan Tannehill. He never signed with anybody, so no point. Then we got Russell Wilson. He signed with the Steelers on a 1-year, $1.2 million deal. For how little he got paid, it was a great signing. He did all right once he started in place of Justin Fields. Just didn't get. He just started at the end of the year. Did help lead the Steelers to win American playoffs, so he did do that. Next up, we got another. Like after this, there's like one good signing and quarterbacks. Not that many good quarterbacks last year. So yeah, Aaron Mitchell signed the Raiders on a 2-year, $25 million deal. Raiders are just a bad team, so it's not a ton he can do. So yeah, that sucks. But yeah, he's a good backup. We'll see. They'll probably want to keep him around at least as a backup, depending on if they draft somebody and they keep Ian O'Connell. We'll see how they're doing at quarterback because they could keep all three if they draft somebody high. They could keep all three in the roster, but it'd be tough to help all three. So we'll see what happens there. Then we got Jacoby Brissett. He re-signed with he went back to the Patriots. He didn't re-sign with them technically, but he originally started his career with the Patriots. Signed them on a 1-year, $8 million deal. They signed him as a bridge guy to help develop Drake May for a little bit before they started him. He looked terrible when he was playing, but hey, when May came in, he looked good. So technically it worked. So he did what he did for them. He helped May give May more time. Would have been nice if he could have played all year, just so that May could didn't have to play behind that terrible line all year. But yeah. Next, we got Jameis Winston. He signed with the Browns on a 1-year, $4 million deal. He did all right, but all the Browns quarterbacks did not do that good this year, so it wasn't just him. But he had some good games. Yep, and like usually, also threw a lot of picks during some games. That's just what he does. No surprise there. Then we got Tyrod Taylor signed with the Jets on a 2-year, $12 million deal. We'll see if he's still there next year. He barely played all year because Rodgers started most of the year. He's got some playing time near the end of the year once they bench Rodgers. Just tough when you barely see him. We'll see what they end up doing with Rodgers. Taylor might be starter depending on if they draft somebody. We'll see. Then we got another great signing. We had Sam Darnold sign with the Vikings on a 1-year, $10 million deal. That he ended the season off not so great, but he helped lead them to a major surprise season. He helped lead them to 14 wins. Nobody had the Vikings doing that this year. And he ate himself a big pay increase. Even if it hurts that last two games hurt him, he's going to get a lot more of a pay increase this offseason, wherever he ends up going. Then we got another 1-year deal. A lot of these guys are on 1-year deals. Then Drew Lock signed the Giants in a 1-year, $5 million deal. He had one great game against the Colts near the end of the season. Well, that didn't do much, but hey, he did help. Like, they ever have a great rookie season, despite having bad quarterback play. I guess you can say, yeah, that was not a good signing. Let's we'll see what the Giants have to do in a quarterback next year. Assume they draft somebody, but they don't really have much at quarterback as of now. We'll see that there. We got another Cleveland Browns signing. They had Tyler Huntley. He signed with the Browns. Then this was just going into off season. This is including what happened midseason. So then he eventually signed the Dolphins. So he ended season on the Dolphins. He started some games here when Tua was injured. He did all right, but that even when Tua did come back, the offense had struggled. So it's just like how much of that was on him. Then we got Josh Jobs signed with the Niners on 1-year deal. He didn't play. He even when Purdy missed time, Like they even went to Brandon Allen instead. So I'm just yeah. Then Mason Rudolph, he signed a 1 year deal with or 2.87 million with the Titans. He did all right. He didn't have worthy plays every week like Will Levis did when he played. I guess it was okay signing. They signed him as a backup anyways. Then Josh Johnson of the Ravens, he never played. So yeah, not don't talk about him. Now let's go to running backs. Yeah, there was a lot of good running back signings this last offseason. So yeah, Saquon Barkley, he signed with the Eagles on a 3 year, $37.75 million deal. This is a great signing. He was great for them this year. He had a 2,000 yard rushing season. He also helped lead them to the Super Bowl. We'll see if they didn't win it or not, but yeah, this was a great signing. Another great signing here. Josh Jacobs signed with the Packers on a 4 year, $48 million deal. He was a great signing as well. Like he had a great year. They didn't get any playoff wins, but he helped get them playoffs and get 12 wins. He was a great signing there. Another great signing, Derrick Henry, the Ravens on a 2 year, $16 million deal. Everybody thought this would be a great sale, just pairing him with Lamar Jackson, like a dual threat quarterback with Derrick Henry that could spear. Ended up being pretty good. He had 1,900 rushing yards and became the first running back in NFL history to rush 1,900 plus rushing yards in a season and not lead the league in rushing yards because Saquon had a same year as well. So that was a great sign by the Ravens. Henry pretty much cemented his Hall of Fame case. He already had a good chance at it, but now he pretty much is. I don't mean there. Then a decent sign in Tony Pollard signed Titans on a 3 year, $24 million deal. He had a decent year. It's just he got out signed by all these top three guys. And so it's just like nobody really talked about it because all these other guys were so great with their teams that they signed with this last offseason. So it's like, yeah. Nelson Eckler signed with the Commanders on a 2 year, $11.43 million deal. He was all right. He didn't do a ton just because Brian Robinson was their main guy for most of the year. When he did have to play, because Robinson did deal with some injuries, he did good. So he was a good signing there. Now being some leadership to the offense, who's the other skill position players outside of Terry McLaurin are pretty young. So yeah. Yeah, DeAndre Swift, he signed the Bears on 3 year, $24 million deal. Started the season, he had some struggles, but he turned it around and ended up having a good year. And he also had a terrible offensive line in front of him. So, well, yeah. Then they don't have what he signed with. I guess this was before some of the signings. But yeah, J.K. Dobbins, he signed with the Chargers. It was on, I think it was 1 year deal. Good signing. He had a great year before he got injured. Played the year. Military signed the Giants on a 3 year, $16.5 million deal. Well, yeah, it was not that good of a signing. Like he eventually got eclipsed by Tyrone Chasey, the rookie at Purdue, to be their starter. So yeah, let's see if he ends up being on the team next year. They have a good amount of cap space. It's not like they need to release him to free up cap space. We'll see what happens. Another Chargers signing. As Edwards signing the Chargers on a 2 year, $6.5 million deal. He was a backup for most of the season, but he did good when he had to play. So that was a decent signing. And then AJ Dillon, I'm not talking about him. We signed the Packers, but he didn't play a single snap because he got injured sometime during training camp or preseason, but he never played a regular season game, so I'm not going to talk about it. And Zach Moss signed with the Bengals on a 2 year, $8 million deal. It's decent, but once he down with injury, like that helped Chase Brown come out and have a breakout season at the end of the year. So he got clipped. His 1 year left. See Evans there. Yeah, I'm not talking about Dante Foreman. He didn't do much. Antonio Gibson, he was right for the Patriots. He did get some starts because they did bench Ramondre Stevenson a couple times due to fumble issues, but he didn't do much. And Clyde Edwards-Helaire, he was signed to the Chiefs, didn't he? I think, yeah. And DJ Dallas, neither of these guys really did much. I'm not talking about him. My receivers, um, a lot of the top guys were just re-signings. Higgins, he got franchise tag, so he had a great year. So that's simple. Like Pittman, he had a little bit of a down year. Still had a good year. But considering he just got paid, just kind of sucks that he had a down year compared to standards. Like Evans, you signed the Bucks on a 2 year, $41 million deal. He was good for them. He was great. Like he dealt with injuries, but he still got 1,000 yards for every to keep that streak up. He's on that. He was going to be healthy. It's just he did miss some games due to injury. Marquise Brown, he He didn't help lead them to help get the Chiefs to Super Bowl, but he missed almost all the regular season due to injury. So yeah. Then Calvin Ridley signed the Titans on a 4-year, $92 million deal. Had some struggles, but he eventually did good and helped. He did all right for them. And then Darnell Mooney signed the Falcons on a 3-year, $39 million deal. This is a good signing. They signed him to be the number two behind Jake London, and he got 1,000 yards even with struggling quarterback play. And Gabe Davis, he signed the Jaguars on a 3-year, $39 million deal. He missed near the end of the year, but he didn't do that great even when he was playing. But nobody on the Jags had that very good of a year. It wasn't just him. OBJ signed the Dolphins. Eventually, he did not do very much at all. Eventually got released. Tyler Boyd signed Titans on a 1-year deal. He was all right signing for them. He was mainly just a slack guy. He's going back in free agency this offseason. We'll see what happens there. And Curtis Samuel signed the Bills on a 3-year, $24 million deal. We'll see if he ends up staying there the next year just because they are negative cap space. So he may be cap casualty, and he did not have that good of a year, too. So we'll see what happens. Then Kendrick Bourne, he resigned with the Patriots on a 3-year, $19.5 million deal. He didn't do much. He came back from injury. He did all right, but he didn't do much once he came back. DJ Chark Jr., did he sign with the Panthers? Let me look. They sent end of season of the Chargers. He didn't do anything. Micah Thomas never signed anywhere. I don't think Josh Reynolds signed anywhere either. I don't think he did. If he did, I don't think he did much. Westbrook Kinney, he had some big plays at points, but he didn't really do much for Titans re-sign with them. KJ Osborne, he really got released mid-season. I think he ended the season on either the Commanders or Texans, and he didn't do much. Oh, Brown to Texans. He didn't play much even with all their injuries, and when he did, he didn't do good. Pitcher Wilson Jr. didn't do anything. MBS didn't sign anywhere. Barry Ellis didn't do anything. Peoples Jones, he was just like a dead piece for the Lions. Yeah, Daniel Johnson got moved around like a ton. Trent Sherfield was a good special teamer for the Vikings. They're right. That's really for our receivers. Go tight ends. Not much for tight ends. Like guys changing teams. There's a lot of the top guys re-signed with their teams. Like Jonathan Schultz re-signed Texans on a 3-year, $36 million deal. He was good for them. He was one of the few updates on their offense to stay mostly healthy. Henry, so he signed Patriots for 3 years, $27 million. He was a good check down weapon for Drake May once he went in. He was good for them. Noah Fant resigned with the Seahawks on a 2-year, $21 million deal. He didn't really do that much either. The tight end free agency class last season did not do really much. Any of them. Joe Everett with a 2-year, $12 million deal with the Bears. He was okay. He didn't really do anything. And they have Cole Kmet ahead of him, so we weren't really expecting much anyways. Kobe Parkinson signed the Rams on a 3-year, $22.5 million deal. Nothing really notable. Austin Hooper did nothing really. Adam Trotman did okay. Matt Gesicki had a good year with the Bengals. Warner and Smith Jr. did nothing. I don't think Young Thomas any sign winner. Jonas Smith made the Pro Bowl with the Dolphins, so he had a good year on a 2-year, $10 million deal. He isn't listed here, but Zach Ertz had a good year. He signed the 1-year deal with the Commanders last offseason, so that was a good sign. Tight ends too, but he's not on here. So that's it for the skill positions. Let's go to the O line. First off, start tackles. Um, a lot of guys had dealt with injuries. Like Tyron Smith, he was all right when he was there playing Jets, but he has for a while now. He was injured a lot, so yeah, Billy Pachano had to play a lot more than I think they were wanting him to going into his rookie year. So yeah, well, he got injured early on, didn't he? Or was it Orlando Brown? One of the Browns got injured. Tackle Browns for the Bengals. They're not related, but they have the last name. Like Iwano, he resigned with the Patriots on a 3-year, $57 million deal. He had some struggles this year, but he wasn't at his best position, which is guard. He has that tackle, so it's just that's not where he's best. Kai Becton, I guess this was kind of, we'll see where he ends up going this upcoming off season. Brennan Williams signed a 2-year deal with $30 million with the Cardinals. He dealt with some injuries. he had some struggles. He wasn't that great. Then Jermaine a little more. He signed a 2-year deal worth 14 million with the Giants. He was not that good of a signing. He was not great. And then Josh Jones, he didn't. I don't think he played. Donovan Smith, I don't think he signed anywhere, or if he didn't, he didn't play. George Fant signed a 2-year deal worth 14 million with the Seahawks. He is all right. Can't find with nothing. Chukuma or four was got ended up like having something going on. He didn't. He left the Patriots early on in the season. Andrew Andrews Pete. I think he signed somewhere. I don't think he didn't really play. Josh Nynum never played. Charles Leno Jr. He's okay. Cornelius Lucas was decent resigning for the Commanders. Chris Hubbard didn't play. Now let's say for tackles. Let's go to centers. This Connor Williams did sign late, so that's probably why part of the reason why it's isn't shown signing. Yeah, he signed a 1-year deal with the Seahawks. He ended up retiring midseason. He was right before that, but yeah, he ended up retiring. And Andre James, who signed the Raiders for a 3-year deal with 24 million. It's a decent resigning for them. He's been a good starter for them for a while now. Blake Cushenberry signed with the Titans for a 4-year, $50 million deal. He's a decent signing. Um, Aaron Brewer, he was not that good. Tyler Badad signed with the Commanders on a 3-year, $29.25 million deal. He was a good starter for the Commanders. He's a good bring in. He was good center to put in front of Jaden Daniels. And then Coleman Shelton of the Bears. The old Bears line was not that good. He was that good. And then Brown, And then Nick Gage, I don't think he signed anywhere. That's it for centers. Let's go to guards. So some big hard signings. Kevin Dotson re-signed with the Rams on a 3-year, $48 million deal. He didn't miss some time due to injuries. When he was playing, he was good. He was a good re-signing for them. Robert Hunt signed a major deal with the Panthers worth 5 years for $100 million deals. $100 million. I don't know if I said million deals. Yeah, it was a good signing for them. Like when you're a bad team and you're like sometimes you're just not to overpay for bringing guys, and that's what they did. And it was decent for him. He didn't get paid a lot, but he's decent signing. Kim Seiler signed the Lions on a 1-year deal. They missed some of the late season, but he was a good signing for them. Good veteran that O line. Felton Riser ended up signing a 1-year deal with the Vikings pretty late. He was all right signing for them. Their interior line struggled a lot this last season, so yeah. As for Cleveland, re-signed the Jags for a 3-year, $28.5 million deal. All right, signing and they have some line struggles, but he wasn't like the worst on the line. Damian Lewis, another Panthers guard signing. He signed the Panthers on a 4-year, $53 million deal. It's the same thing I said with Hunter. They knew they kind of had to overpay for some guys that were getting him in. He was a good sign. He was a good player for them. It's just a little bit of overpay. John Runyon signed a 3-year deal worth $30 million to the Giants, $10 million a year. Good signings. Just the old Giants had a lot of struggles, but like he wasn't the worst guy. But that's not saying something. No, I was terrible. Then Jonah Jackson, he signed with the Rams for 3 years, $51 million deal. Good signing. Like a lot of the guys on Rams still some injuries last year, but when he was played, he was good. Well, guy I forgot to mention for tackles, he wasn't facing signing. He was a trade. Morgan Moses from the Rays and Jets. He was a good, decent trade, decent execution for the Jets too. I forgot about that. Let's get back to guards. John Simpson signed a 2-year deal with the Jets. He was our decent. He wasn't great, but he wasn't bad. Dan Blas now resigned the Lions with a 3-year for $20 million deal. Good re-signing for them. Good news. Good for them this last year again. And nothing worse than going rolling. John Feliciano resigned 49ers. He's not that good. Say when once again seems like he's always dealing with injuries. He dealt with them again. He wasn't that good anymore. He was healthy. Then Sua Opita, he missed all the year with the Bucks because he got injured in the preseason, so he never played. Sadiq Charles signed a 1-year deal with the Titans. I don't think he played much. Tristan Colin resigned the Cardinals on 1-year, $1.75 million deal. He didn't do any. He didn't play at all. Lagan Tomlinson, I think he eventually signed with the Seahawks. He was all right for them, but he'd still be a free agent again. So yeah, that's it for the whole offense. Some good signings, some bad signings. Oh, I don't know why he isn't even listed on the running backs at all. But another good running back signing for the Vikings was Aaron Jones. I don't know why he even listed on here at all. I don't know if they just didn't put him on here because he got released late because they released him after he signed the Packers signed Jacobs and Aaron Jones. So, but yeah, Aaron Jones is another great signing as well. Now let's go defense. Tier defensive line, some great players. A lot of them re-signed, but yeah, Chris Jones resigned with the Chiefs, 5 year, $158.75 million deal. Great resign for the Chiefs. He was great for them. Great leader in the defense. I'll get that to his third straight Super Bowl. Justin Matabuke signed with the Ravens on a 4 year, $98 million deal. He had another great year with the Ravens. He was good for them. Christian Wilkins, he signed with the Raiders with a 4 year, $110 million deal. He missed part of the season, but he was good and healthy. Him and Max Crosby should be good duo. They can both stay healthy next year. Leonard Williams re-signed with the Seahawks on a 3 year, $64.5 million deal. We'll see how it ages because he is getting up there in age, but as of now, that's a good signing. DJ Reader, he signed the Lions on a 2 year deal. It's a good sign. It was a good sign for him. He did miss some of the year, but almost everybody on that defense missed some games this year. Only did play. He was a good pairing with Ellen McNeil for them. Grover Stewart, we signed with the Indianapolis Colts on a 3 year, $39 million deal. He's already got this injury. He did struggle to start a year. Like their run defense was awful, but he bounced back near the end after that, and he was still good after that. Cox retired, and then Quan Jones resigned the Bills on a 2 year, $16 million deal. It was easy for them. Like he did struggle against the Chiefs in the AFC Championship game, but everybody in it, Terry D line did stop Mahomes from running. Maurice Hurst resigned with the Browns on a 1 year deal. He is okay. Like there are a lot of struggles this year though. And our Browns signing here, Quentin Jefferson signed with the Browns on a 1 year deal as well. He's okay. Like neither of those guys are really notable. And Javon Kinlaw, he signed with the Jets on the 1 year, $7.25 million deal. Our guy had some injuries. He was decent. Just felt like a guy that Robert Saleh really kind of likes and just wanted to bring him back. So he did. And then Shelby Harris resigned with the Browns. It was 1 year deal. He didn't. Browns brought in a lot of like rotation D line guys to put next to Dalvin Thompson. None of them really did good. None of them did terrible either. And A'Shawn Robinson, he signed with the Panthers on a 3 year, $22.5 million deal. He had a lot of struggles, but it definitely didn't help. Like they signed him to be like a decent number two D tackle next to Derek Brown, and then Derek Brown missed most of the season. So then you kind of had to rely on Robinson more, and he did not do good in that position. But hopefully this next season, Derek Brown can play all year, and you won't have to rely on him for that. Let's see what happens. Raekwon Davis signed a 2 year deal worth $14 million with the Colts. He was okay. Like he didn't play a ton just because they have a lot of depth on their D line with of course Buckner and Grover Stewart. So yeah. And then Kevin Givens resigned the Niners on a 1 year deal. Once Simon Hargrave went down, he had a lot of struggles, but you weren't expecting a ton from him to be your number one D tackle. So yeah. Then Beyond Nichols signed with the Cardinals on a 3 year, $21 million deal. It is okay signing. Didn't do a ton though. Then Adam Butler signed the Raiders on a 1 year deal. He was not that good. Then Puna Ford signed with the Chargers. He had a decent year with Harbaugh. So yeah, and then Justin Jones, another deal signed for the Cardinals. He signed with the Cardinals on a 3 year, $30.1 million deal. He was decent. He wasn't he didn't really do a ton, but he was good for them. And then Solomon Thomas resigned the Jets on a 1 year deal. Like with Kinlaw and Quentin Williams, he didn't play a ton, and he wasn't that good when he did play. And Tavon Bryan, he signed the Colts on 1 year deal. He didn't do much at all. Greg Gaines signed a 1 year, $3.5 million deal with the Bucks. He signed with them, I should say. He was decent for them. He hasn't done a ton ever since he left the Rams a few years ago. And then the Val Gamore signed with the Dolphins. He didn't do a ton. Jonathan Hankins with the Seahawks. I don't know. Sure. Yeah, he was decent for the Jags, but their whole defense a lot of struggles, so it's not like you can put all the blame on him for that. So yeah, as if for I don't know if they have him under edge, but he did play mainly defensive interior with the Dolphins and Calais Campbell. He was a good signing for them. I don't know if they have him listed on the edge, but yeah, but he did play a lot in tier D line. So yeah, let's go to edge rushers. Let's look. So they do have Calais Campbell as edge, but he did sign a 1 year deal with the Dolphins team. I'll say that. Yeah. So yeah, first off, Josh Hines Allen got franchise take for the Jags, and he got extension. He was a good extension. And then Brian Burns, he got taken by Panthers for them. Then got big, good signing for the Texans. The Texans signed Danielle Hunter to a 2 year, $49 million deal. It was a great year for them. Him and Will Anderson were a great edge rusher duo this past season. That was a great signing. Bryce Huff signed a 3 year, $51.1 million deal. He did not do much. So we'll see. Maybe we'll do better with Brandon Graham, most likely retired next season. But like even when Brandon Graham went down with his injury, he still didn't do much. So we'll see what happens there. Nolan Smith Jr. But they do have Josh Sweat being a free agent, so maybe Huff does. They if Sweat leaves, they do need him to step up. So we'll see what happens. And Chase Young signed a 1 year, $13 million deal with the Saints. It's a good signing for them. If they could find a way to afford him, I'm sure they would. But it's gonna be really tough for the Saints to re-sign him. So Young will probably be back on the free agency market coming up. And Jonathan Guard is a great signing by the Vikings. He signed with them on a 4 year, $76 million deal. He had a great year. Slot plays with Danielle Hunter. They both had great years on their new teams. Made his first career Pro Bowl with them. I know most people don't like Pro Bowl that much, but he still did make it, so it's worth mentioning. So again, there's Jadeveon Clowney. I'm pretty sure it's a 2 year. Well, he signed a 2 year deal with the Panthers. It's a decent sign for them, but like Derek Brown was supposed to be their main guy in that front, and once he went down, it was a lot tough for everybody else just because he isn't there to demand attention for all linemen. So I kind of hurt him. So Darius Smith, he resigned the Browns on 2 year, $23.5 million deal. Then midseason, he got traded to the Lions. He has a decent sign for them. It's just he didn't play for much for them, but he did get some trade value back for them. So yeah, and Josh Uche, you signed the Patriots on a 1 year, $3 million deal. He didn't really do much at all. He was decent. Leonard Floyd, he signed the Niners on a 2 year, $20 million deal. He is a decent number two edge. But I'm glad he's not your number one if they have Bosa, obviously. And another great Vikings sign on the edge. They signed Andrew Van Ginkel to a 2 year, $20 million deal. He had a great year. Yeah, like he's like I don't know if they'll pay him this offseason or if they'll just pay him like mid-season or next offseason. But he's gonna get he's gonna get a pay increase once he gets a new contract. Ginkelitz, he made Pro Bowl as well. He had a great year. Tanico Entre signed a 2 year, $20 million deal with the Texans. He is okay. Like he didn't play. He didn't get a ton of opportunities because they had Danielle Hunter and Will Anderson, but he was decent. And Dorrance Armstrong, he signed with the Commanders on a 3 year, $33 million deal. He is alright, but like on a 3 year, $11 million per year, he wasn't really that. But yeah, he was decent. Chris Campbell signed a 1 year deal to the Dolphins. He mainly played defensive interior. He was good for them. Siemens is playing another year. He is super. He's in his late 30s at this point. It's hard to believe he's still playing, but he is. And Brendan Graham signed the Eagles on a 1 year deal. He was decent, but then he got injured mid-season and missed the rest of it. We'll see him ends up coming back for the Super Bowl. Sounds like it will, but it's not for sure yet. Then I don't know if Carl Lawson, Mike Dana, they didn't do anything really. And then AJ Epinesa signed with the Bills on a 2-year, $12 million deal. He is okay. Like, I'm not expecting a ton from him because they still do have Von Miller and Craig Rousseau. So yeah. And then Kyle Van Noy ended up signing Reese. Oh wait, I don't know why I'm saving to go get Derek Barnett re-signed the Texans on 1-year deal. He does some injuries. He didn't do much either though. And Tyquan Lewis re-signed with the Colts on a 2-year, $12 million deal. It's okay. He didn't do a ton partially just because they have like a lot of like under edge guys they'd rather give playing time to. Well, he's a decent re-signing. And Kyle Van Noy ended up re-signing with the Ravens. It's a good sign for them. Like he got injured early on with something with his eye. But once he came back, he is a good signing for them. He had another good year for them. Marcus Davenport signed the Lions on 1 year, $6.5 million deal. Once again, he got injured. No surprise. Seems like he gets injured every year. Anybody money did play, he didn't do a ton. So yeah. Then Terrell Taylor signed the Seahawks, not very big. Anthony Jennings signed on a 3-year deal. It's worth $12 million with the Patriots. So he's only getting paid for $1 million a year for 3 years. So it's a good signing. Not a ton, but that's not very much for an edge rusher. So yeah. And DJ Wonnum signed with the Panthers on 2-year, $12.5 million deal. Decent signing, but he just dealt some injuries. Like if you as long as he's not your number one edge rusher, you're fine. But you don't want him your number one. I mean, but Dupree, I don't think he didn't do anything. Gakwe didn't do anything. Stroud a decent year for Commanders on a 1-year deal. Dante Fowler Jr. had a good year for the Commanders. Romeo Aquara, I think he ended up retiring. I think Syracuse did too. I don't know why they haven't listed as edge because he's a linebacker, but Zach Bond had a great year at the Eagles. He's going to get a good pay increase this offseason. Where everybody ends up signing after his 1-year deal. See if he ends up winning them a Super Bowl. Yeah, throw some Tolson, Pittman, and Akbad. None of them really did anything. Yes, if for the edge group, let's go to linebackers. A lot of linebacker signs here. St. Patrick King signed. He left the Ravens for their division rival. He signed the Pittsburgh Steelers on a 3-year, $41 million deal. He's a decent sign for them, but like he did have a lot more struggles than he did last season. But that can't be expected to anymore. So yeah, I think he signed with the Commanders on a 3-year, $31 million deal. It's a good sign for them. It's a little weird end of the season. Their last game of the season against the Eagles Tennessee championship game when he kept on jumping over center. When Eagles are at 1, that was kind of funny. Eagles almost got awarded a touchdown. So yeah. Then Lavonte David, he signed a 1-year deal to go back to the Bucks. He had another great year for them. But he's been playing again. Like he's in his mid-30s, but he's still great. So we'll see what's happened. And Jordan Brooks, he signed the Dolphins for on a 3-year, $26.25 million deal. He had a good year for them, and he was decent. But they just had right back a rotation, kind of. He was decent. Bobby Wagner signed with the Commanders on a 1-year deal. Great leadership signing for them. Seeing what ends up happening to him as well. So yeah, him and Devontae David could both end up retiring. All right, we'll do. We'll see. And Jerome Baker signed with the Seahawks on a 1-year, $7 million deal. Former Dolphin. But weird to see him off the Dolphins. He's okay. He didn't really do a lot. And Aziz Al-Shir signed the Texans on a 3-year, $34 million deal to reunite with the Miko Ryans. He was good, but then late in the year, he had a cheap shot on Trevor Lawrence, and he got suspended for, I think, 3 games. Aside that, he had a good year, though. And Devin White, he signed with the Eagles on a 1-year deal. He ended up getting released in mid-season, so that ended up being a bust of a signing. He kind of just disappeared out of nowhere. He had some good years with the Bucks, and now he's just like, what happened to him? So yeah, then Josie Sewell, Drew, he signed with the Panthers on a 3-year, $22.75 million deal. Since it's decency film, was he the Panthers linebacker towards ACL? I think it was. He was okay. And then another great sign by the Vikings. They signed Blake Cashman to a 3 year, $22.5 million deal to bring back a Minnesota native. He was great for them. Like they had a lot of struggles when he was out with injury, and he made a good difference. You could tell a big difference when he was out versus when he was in. That was a good signing. And Joe Tranquil re-signed with the Chiefs on a 3 year, $19 million deal. It's a good re-signing. It's just like if by re-signing those 3 year deals, does it make it a little tougher for you to re-sign Nick Bolton because you already have 6.5, like 6 point, little under $6.5 million deal, 6.5 million per year to a linebacker, which isn't a lot of money, but like Nick Bolton want a good payday, so it's just like do you really want that much to linebacker? That might hurt that. And then Jordan Hicks signed the Browns on a 2 year, $8 million deal. He's a good veteran on that defense for only $4 million a year, for another year too. That was a good sign in. And Willie Gay signed the Saints on the 1 year deal. He's okay. He didn't play a ton because they had Warner and Mario Davis. So kind of the same situation you had with the Chiefs before that. And Terrell Dodson was signed with the Seahawks. Ended up being a 1 year deal. He is okay signing. Like I'd be surprised if they bring him back though. And Oren Burks signed with the Eagles on a 1 year deal. Even even once they got rid of Devin, he did play it a little bit, but he didn't play a ton. And like they had, and Jack Bond ended up being their main phrase and signing that linebacker. So yeah, then Nicholas Moreau, he signed the Bills 1 year deal. They ended up going to the Eagles. I feel like I'm already seeing him around the Eagles. I could be wrong, but yeah, he's okay. Cody Barton signed the Broncos on a 1 year deal. Decent signing, not really much about it. Then Sione Taki signed the Patriots on a 2 year, $6.5 million deal. He was a good signing for them. Like he is a good linebacker for them. And then Anthony Walker signed with the Dolphins on 1 year deal. Yeah, no, that was signing. Then Jack Leonard didn't sign anywhere. Denzel Perryman signed the Chargers on a 1 year, $3 million deal. It's a good signing. Like it's good for Hava, but like they'll probably let him walk and find a good replacement for him. Say Simmons, I'm pretty sure he signed somewhere. Let me look. Let's see here. Say Simmons. Yeah, he ended up signing with the Giants. That's what I thought. It's on a 1 year deal. Yeah, decent signing for them. Like he just didn't live up to his former eighth overall pick status, but he's a good player. Kenneth Murray signed with the Titans on a 2 year, $15.5 million deal. Bob might end up getting a release to give Titans some more cap space, and he wasn't that good for them. Devin Bush signed the Browns on 1 year deal. He was not a good signing either. That's it for linebackers. Had some good veteran linebackers and some good years. So yeah, let's go to corners. So yeah, first off, great re-signing by the Bears. Jalen Johnson re-signed with the Bears on his 4 year, $76 million deal. It was a great signing for them. He had a great year for them. L'Jarius Sneed, he got franchise checked by the Chiefs, but then he ended up getting traded to Titans. It didn't look that good in the first year, and he also dealt with some injuries. But even when he did play, it did not look that good. And Kendall Fuller signed the Dolphins on a 2 year, $16.5 million deal. Decent signing, good, but he could have done a little better. But they had some struggles on their defense too. And Chidobe Awuzie signed the Titans on a 3 year deal. When Snead went down, he stepped up a little bit and had a good year. Like they were expecting him to be the number 2 because they did bring in L'Jarius Snead, but he was good when they needed him to be your number 1. Stephon Gilmore, he signed late, but he ended up signing a 1 year deal with the Vikings. He was a good player for them. Helped get them 14 wins. He was a good starting corner for them. See if he ends up retiring this year or not. And Kenny Moore, we signed the Colts on a 3 year, $30 million deal. He had a lot of struggles, but he was all right. Keyshawn Nixon resigned with the Packers on a 3 year, $18 million deal. He's okay corner, but he's a great. He part of they resigned him too though was he's a great returner as well though. Sean Murphy Bunting signed the Cardinals on a 3 year, $25.5 million deal. He's a decent, good corner, but they were taking a little more out of him, I think. But it wasn't a terrible signing. Manuel Mosley resigned the Lions on 1 year deal. I think he got injured again. He's like always injured though. And Ronald Darby, he got signed by the Jaguars to a 2-year, $8.5 million deal. He is not good at all. So yeah. And Dane Jackson signed the Panthers on a 2-year, $8.5 million deal. Trotman to try to help replace Dante Jackson, who they traded for Deontay Johnson. Didn't work out very well. We'll see what happens there. And Jordan Lewis resigned the Cowboys on a 1-year deal. It was all right. Resigning like he's just longtime Cowboy for part of it, and like they said, Harry Jones said they were gonna go in, and they immediately signed nobody pretty much this offseason, as you see. Eric Hendricks, they did sign Eric Hendricks as linebacker, but they literally like signed nobody. And then um, Kristen Fulton, I think he was a It'll be on the Chargers. Nick Robertson signed a 2-year deal with the North $9.25 million deal with the Lions. He's okay. Jeff Okuda signed a 1 year with the Texans. He had a decent year. And he was a decent number 2 corner. And then I don't think Brock Gustin signed anywhere. Michael Davis signed with the Commanders. It was okay. Well, once they brought in Lattimore, they had a little less playing time. Siren Neal did nothing. Tyler Jackson had a good year for the Steelers. Now he gets a chance of getting a good pay increase this offseason. So for corners, just go to safe. Well, corners wise, also there's Shaquille Griffin had a decent year for Vikings as well. Isn't on here. Now let's go to safeties. Safety Anton Winfield Jr. He eventually got re-signed by the Bucks on a multi-year deal to the franchise tag. He was great for them. He had some injuries, but he was still as good as ever. Kyle Duggar got tagged by the Patriots, but then he ended up getting re-signed as well. He was one of the few like spotlights on their team. He was good for them as usual. Cam Curl signed the Rams on a 2-year deal. Like a lot of guys on their front stepped up big, like young guys. He was one of the few like decent players in the secondary. Like a lot of their secondary players had struggles. And then Cam Curl, I'm not to mention him. Xavier McKinney, a great signing by the Packers. He signed with the Packers on a 4-year, $68 million deal. Ended up being second in the league in interceptions. He had a great year. I think he started the season out with 6 straight games with picks. So yeah, he was a great signing there. And Geno Stone signed the Bengals on a 2-year, $15 million deal. Like it was not that good, but their whole secondary was awful. So that's not saying a ton. Blackman signed a 1-year deal with the Colts. Right, he signed with them. He was not good. So yeah, Jordan Flores signed a 1-year deal with the Panthers. He was not that good either. He lost struggles. And then Jordan Whitehead signed the Bucks on a 2-year, $9 million deal. He was decent before he got injured, but he ended up getting injured late in the year. He ended up going back to Bucks because that's where he started his career. He was decent for them. And Deshaun Elliott signed with the Steelers on a 2-year, $6 million deal. He had some struggles, but also so it didn't make up Fitzpatrick, their superstar safety. So he wasn't the only one at safety that had struggles for them. And then CJ Gardner Johnson signed a 3-year deal worth $33 million. I don't know why I said some max. I don't know if he had sentence in it or what. Either way, it's a 3-year deal. It was good for them. Went back to Eagles after sending to the Lions where he dealt with injuries. Yeah, it's a decent signing for them. Then like Gilman's signed with the Chargers on a 2-year, $11 million deal. He had a good year for them. Darnell Savage signed with the Jaguars on a 3-year deal. He was not a good signing for them. He'll probably end up being there at least another year just because of a 3-year deal. But yeah, Mike Edwards signed with the Bills on a 1-year deal. He's okay. Jeremy Chin signed the Commanders on a 1-year deal worth $5.1 million deal. He was good for the Commanders. I'm sure they want to re-sign him, but we'll see where he ends up going. Micah Hyde eventually got signed to the Bills late in the season. Didn't much. Curse never signed. Aaron Jones signed a 3-year deal worth $20 million with the Broncos. It was not that good of a signing. Taylor Rapp signed with the Bills on a 3-year, 10.65, 2.10. Okay, let's start this over. $10.625 million deal. Sorry, I don't know why I was having trouble saying that. Decent signing for them. Like he had about the same as his first year with them. And then Jalen Mills signed the Giants. He ended up getting released eventually. Kevin Byard signed with the Bears on a 2-year, $15 million deal. It wasn't really expected. I was expecting him to bounce back here, but he had some struggles. But especially once Eberflus went down, got fired. But yeah, not a huge surprise. Jackson upside with the Ravens, he didn't do anything. So, yeah, none of these other guys did much. Poyer and signed Dolphins on your deal. He is all right. Next two, um, Poyer, Javon Holland, Baltimore free agency again. So we'll see what happens. Bye guys, that's it for this video. Thanks for watching. Hope you have a good one.